Hi there and welcome back to my channel. I'm Andy. Today we are going to be doing a get ready with me, and it's going to be a little bit of a different look than what you've seen in the other two that I've done. Today I am going to be doing a neutral look, and I decided to do a neutral look because I am getting ready to do a wig review. And this wig review is a wig that I have wanted for a long time. And it is a color I have long admired on other reviewers. I like to watch other reviewers too. And I thought, you know, I'm going to see if I can pull this color off. It is definitely a different color for me. And it's a neutral color. I feel like it's a neutral color. So I thought I'm going to put a black jacket on and I'm going to try to do a neutral face. And so I'm not really sure if I'm going to like this look or not because I like color in my face. I remember when I was young, I would watch my mom do her makeup, and I loved to watch her do her makeup. She had a little vanity, and she would sit and do it, and she'd put her lipstick on, and then she put her lipstick on her cheeks. So it just gave her that same color from her lips to her cheeks very easily, and I just always thought, I like color on the face. So we'll see how I like this neutral look, and I may end up like adding some different lipstick or blush or whatever, but we'll see how I like it. So to start off, I want to just share with you very quickly what I have on my face already, and it is the first thing I do when I'm getting ready. About, I don't know, it's about 4 times a week I'll put this on, but this is the Saint Tropez Advanced 1 Hour Tan, and I have used this for probably 2 years. I love it. It just gives me a nice base or a glow to my skin, I think. And somebody sent me a message and asked me about this Saint Tropez. And I do need to let you know something. This is the Advanced 1 Hour Tan. And I leave it on. So I don't even take it off until I wash my face at nighttime. But if you're going to use this and you don't want as deep of a tan, it says 1 hour is a light tan, 2 hours is a medium tan, and if you leave it on for 3 hours or more, it's going to be a dark tan. So for me, I just leave it on, and that's how I use it. But anyhow, that's Saint Tropez Soft Tan Express is what it's called. And then the other thing I have on, I've shared with you before, I really, really like this Lumi Glotion. So that's the Lumi Glotion there. So I've got that on, and also it's nice to put on your chest just for a little bit of a glow there as well. So it's very, very light and subtle, but I really like that. So I've got that on, and then I've got my moisturizer on, which is the Age Perfect. It's got the sunscreen. I shared that with you before. It's L'Oreal Age Perfect. And then I've got my Revitalift. I don't think I shared with you this on the last one, but I really like this. This is the Revitalift. It's eye cream. So I just dot this in around my eyes there, and I really like that. I've used that for quite a while. And then of course my Milani Conceal and Perfect makeup, and then we're ready to go. Something I do like to do is, I told you before, I put my makeup on with my hands, but I do like to just take a sponge and I just tap it, and it's a dry sponge. I don't do a wet sponge because I told you I have dry skin. And I just don't like to use water on a sponge because I feel like it kind of dries my skin out a little bit more. And then I just kind of blend it down. So that's what I do there. I've shared with you before that I use this Milani Stay Put eyeshadow primer. I really enjoy this. I just tap this in around both of my eyes. It just gives me a great base for me to start working on my eyes with my eyeshadow and my liners. I take it all the way down to my lash line, and I take it up into my eyebrows. I shared with you on the last video that I feel like that helps hold my eyebrow pencil in when I color my eyebrows in. So you can see it really doesn't add color to your eyes, but it just gives you a really great base there. So you're going to have to let that dry, and I go in with my, and that's the Milani Stay Put eyeshadow primer there. And then this is the Halo Glow, e.l.f. Halo Glow contour cream. And I just go right into here. Oh, I forgot to tell you, the wig that I'm wearing today. Do you have any guesses of what this is? I just did a review on this one not long ago, and I have quickly fallen in love with it. This is Henry Margaux PEYTON. The color is 4GR, and I love this wig, but I've got it put back today, right now, just so I can do my makeup. So I will take it down at the end and let you see how beautiful this is. I was actually shopping, running some errands the other day, and as I was running errands, I was in the makeup aisle, and there was a couple ladies that were together, and they stopped me and they said, "You sure do have some pretty hair." And I thought that was so sweet that they said that. And usually, you know, if you wear wigs, there are times that it feels absolutely appropriate to say, "Thank you, it's a wig," right? It's very appropriate. I do that a lot. But then there's other times when maybe people are around that, you know, it just doesn't feel quite right. And that was one of those times. There were several people around, and I just said thank you and went on. But that was very sweet of them. And it is a beautiful wig, and when I wear it, I really feel like I have good hair on. Because I do. I mentioned it in my very first video that I did. There's a saying that I heard early on when I started wearing wigs, and it says, in the box, it's a wig, but when it's on my head, it is my hair. And today, this is my hair today. So just remember that. It might be a wig in the box, but when it's on your head, it is your hair for the day. And you wear it and you own it, right? Alrighty, so there we go. Got that all blended in. And like I said, we're going to go for a neutral look. I like to watch, her name's Nikki LaRose. She's actually a makeup artist. And I was watching her the other day, and I saw her do this neutral look, and I thought, oh, I'm going to try that when I try this wig on. It's sitting right there. She's really, really pretty. And so I went out and I actually bought what she used. And so what I'll do now, actually I'm going to do my little bit of concealer that I use right here in the inner corner. This is Revlon Photo Ready. And I'm just going to put it right here in the inner corner and bring it down just a little bit. And I've mentioned before that I do not like to use concealer from about this point on over. I've just tried too many of them that they say they don't crease. They crease. I haven't tried one that hasn't creased. So if you have a great concealer that you have, you know, wrinkles under your eyes and it doesn't crease, let me know. But like I do use eye cream under there, under my eyes. So it does have some moisture under there. And so I don't know if that kind of attributes to the creasing of the concealer or not, but I'm happy just using what I use here and not bringing it underneath my eyes. I just like to kind of lighten this area up and through here. And before we go any further, I wanted to share with you this necklace that I got at Target. I love this necklace. It looks like 3 necklaces, but it's just one. It's one clasp, but it's 3 chains on one clasp. And then it's got this really pretty gold medallion. And this is substantial. Like, this is not lightweight. It's got some weight to it. And I like it so much that I actually just called a place in town that does engraving. And I'm thinking about getting my initials engraved on it. But I'm thinking it was like, I don't know, $16 or $17 maybe. I can't remember, but it was not much for just how pretty it is. I just think it's really, really pretty. And I believe I got these earrings at Target as well. I think I did. They're called A New Day. And they're kind of a teardrop, really pretty. But Target has really nice jewelry. Don't overlook Target's jewelry there. But this is Milani. I've shared with you how much I like the Milani Cheek Kiss cream blushes. This is a new one I got, and this is called Nude Kiss. Isn't that pretty? And this, like I said, is a more neutral color. This was the most neutral one I could find. So I'm just going to go in there and tap that, along my cheekbone. And I'll actually bring it out a little bit onto the apple of my cheek there. When I was growing up, that was the thing. Like people would say to put the blush on the apples of your cheeks. Do you remember that? And I think it's kind of going back to that a little bit. I don't know, but I like it like that too. That's pretty though, isn't it? And I just tap. I don't rub it, just tap. I don't want to rub my makeup off. Okay, so there's that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my eyeshadow. Now I'm going to go back to this L'Oreal La Palette or La Palette Nude Intense, right? Nude look, it's kind of what we're looking for. And I'm going to go in with I think I'm just going to go in with this color right here. Take it through my crease there and see if that's enough color for me. So I'm just going to blend up. Yeah, I think that looks pretty. I think that's plenty dark enough there. To give me some pretty color. And one thing that I like about putting a little bit of eye cream on before I do my makeup is like when I just ran my finger up like that little bit of cream, that moisture there kind of, goes up and I'm not pulling on my eye. It's just a very light little rubbing just to kind of blend it upwards. I'll do this other eye here. Something I wanted to clarify from the last video I did about where I was chatting about skin cancers, and several of you commented and shared with me how you've dealt with your own bouts with skin cancer. And someone asked me, how did you know to even go in and have it looked at? And I thought, I should have shared that with you and clarified. It wasn't on a regular skin check. It was because I had a spot on my nose right here, and I thought it was a pimple. But, I would try to squeeze it and try to get rid of it, and it wasn't going away. So I'm thinking it was on there for about 2 weeks, and I finally made an appointment with my doctor, and I went in, and that's when she said, no, we're going to have to biopsy that. So I wanted to share that with you and just encourage you, if you have anything on your face that seems abnormal or something new that doesn't look quite right, to go in and have it looked at. Also, I meant to mention that I was talking about the self-tanner and the face creams, the eye cream, and the makeup. I will actually have in the description box, I will have links to everything for you today. Okay, so what I'm going to do with the eyes from this point on is I'm going to darken up this outer corner here. And so I'm just going to use this little e.l.f. brush here, and I'm going to use this really dark brown right here. Just go in and kind of tap that dark color in at the corner and into the crease and up. We have a church nearby that on the hour they always play the bells ring, and I always think it's so pretty. If I'm outside, I just love to listen to those and the music that it plays. It plays a really pretty hymn on the bells. So I'm going to keep just doing that here, dotting it, tapping it in, and then blending it up. Okay, now that looks a little harsh, but I always say I'm going to blend it in. And so I'm going to go ahead and get my blending brush, and then I'm just going to, this is a Sigma, I like this brush. It's a Sigma Firm Blender E44, and I just go in, blend this all together, and then I'm going to lift it up. Okay. All right. Now, something that I am a believer in is if I am going darker on my eyes, I can go a little more neutral, lighter on my lips. So I'm lighter on my cheeks, but I still have some color on my cheeks, a little darker on my eyes, and we're going to go lighter on the lips. So I'm excited to share with you that combination that I was telling you I found and see how you like it. I always think it's fun to pick out a shimmer, and I really like these little e.l.f. palettes. It's just a little palette. It's called a Bitesize Eyeshadow palette by e.l.f., and this is called Rosewater. I think that's really pretty. It's got this light shimmer here that's got a little bit of pink in it, and then this is kind of like a mauve shimmer. And today I think I'm going to go with the mauve just to kind of stay in with a neutral tone, but to give it some color here on the lid. So I will just tap that on my eyelid here. It's pretty, isn't it? I like that. Okay, so there's the shimmer. I think that's really pretty. And now we're going to go in with a dark brown Wet n Wild pencil. I'm just going to line my eyes. See how this looks. Again, we're going to see if this gives me, you know, kind of the look I'm going after. See if it's going to be dark enough for me. I'm used to having darkness, you know, I'm used to having a black pencil or some black liner on my eye. So this is definitely a different look, but and then bring it up a little bit. And then I'm going to bring it down, connect, make sure those lines are connected from the top to the bottom. Just very lightly. Bring it down like that. That looks pretty. Now, I'm noticing my eyes are really red right now because I just was messing around with them. Something that I have used, you know, recently is the Lumify eye drops. I love them, but I will never use them again. And I'll tell you why. They gave me headaches. The next day after I used them, I would always feel really groggy and my head would hurt. And I just kind of connected the fact that, oh, I used those Lumify eye drops yesterday. I really think that's what was doing it, because I haven't used them now for probably a week and a half, and I haven't had that anymore. So, but anyhow, I am going to go in with, just to darken it up, I'm going to go in with that dark shade of that little e.l.f. palette and it's my little concealer brush from e.l.f. But I am going to just darken that line up just a little bit. But yeah, I was really sad because I really, really liked those, because, you know, sometimes I don't get enough sleep, or sometimes I have allergies, and you know, my eyes just look kind of red. So they really do work. I mean, they really do. But I don't like the feeling that I had after I used them. So, and it says that they are like ophthalmologist recommended or doctor recommended, but I don't know. I would just check with your doctor maybe before you use them. But they do work. There's no doubt about that. Okay, I think that looks really good. And one last thing on the eyes. I forgot to do a little brow bone eyeshadow up here, but I'm going to do that, and then I will blend that in again. Okay, and so now I have mentioned before that I really like the look of false eyelashes, but I struggle with them. So I am going to do something that I saw on YouTube, and it was to take the eyelash and cut it in half. So one strip, you cut it in half and then try it that way. And I thought, okay, I think maybe I can do that. So we'll see how that works for me. But I did just put a light coat of my favorite mascara on, Maybelline Colossal, $8 a tube. I told you that, how much I liked it. I think it was in my first video. And or my first Get Ready With Me. But just to tell you how much I like it, I actually have 2 tubes on standby. I never want to be without it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my lashes and I'm going to put a little bit of glue on them, and then I'll be back to see how this works out. Okay, so I've got the lash and the glue on, and I let the glue dry down a little bit so it's not so wet. And I'm going to give it a try and see if it works. There, that worked. I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Okay, one down, one to go. Okay, now that was easy. That was much easier. I can do that. And it just kind of gives you a nice lift to the outer part of your eyes. Now I am going to just put a little bit more mascara on just to kind of blend them in together. That was really easy. And that was a Nikki LaRose tip. So she's a very talented, very beautiful makeup artist that shares her bits of knowledge with us on YouTube. Now we're going to go on to the most important part of our eyes. Like I say, it's our eyebrows. And I mentioned before, so many years I went without coloring my eyebrows in, and I just look back at pictures and I just wonder why I didn't do it. But I do it now, so that's what's important. This is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil that I have used for a long time and really like it. I think it is just as good, if not better, than most of the higher end products. I don't know how much this was. I think maybe $9. But you don't have to sharpen it either. It's, you know, you turn it. You turn it up. But just look at the difference. Now I haven't blended it in, but look at the difference between my eyes. You know, doing one and not the other. Look here. What a difference, right? Okay, so now I'm just going to blend that all in, just using the spoolie on the end. And I've shared with you before one last thing on as far as the eyes go. I love these little elf sticks. It's a no budge shadow stick. This is in Perfect Pearl. I really like this. Just watch how it adds that little bit of brightness in that inner corner. Isn't that pretty? Such an easy way just to do that. You can blend that in. Okay, so our eyes are finished and I like that. Now on to the lips. And this is going to be like, I think what's going to really make it all have that very neutral look to it. So, and I have been looking for the name on this lifter liner. It's a Maybelline lifter liner. And I cannot for the life of me find the name of it. So I will list it right here. I'll put it over here so you can see it. And like I said, I'll have everything linked below for you, but it's a very neutral shade. See how neutral that is? So we're going to use that. And then this is a L'Oreal matte liquid lipstick, and it's called Breakfast in Bed. And so we're going to use that, and we're going to use a plumping lifter plumper. So we're going to use that as well. So we'll see how we like all three of those together. Okay, so I'll go in and just start lining my lips here. It's pretty, huh? I tried this on the other day and I thought it was pretty. So now we're going to go in with the matte cream lipstick. It is neutral, that's for sure. I am not used to not having some color, so very different. Okay, so there is the Breakfast in Bed on my lips. What do you think of that? It's pretty. It's very neutral, that's for sure. And then we're going to go in with this plumping lipstick, and this is called it's called Mauve Bite. Mauve Bite. I'm not sure that was the right one. Did I get the wrong one? All right, so here is the plumping lipstick, and this is called Mauve Bite. I'm not really for sure that I got the right color, to be honest with you. I think I might have grabbed the wrong one, but it's pretty. Kind of gives me a little bit of a pinkness to it, which goes well with the blush. So that is the look. That is the neutral look. So let me go ahead and take this beautiful Henry Margot PEYTON down and let you take a look at it. So here is the finished look of a neutral face for me. Very unusual because, like I said, I do like color, but I think it's very pretty. Here's the eyes. And this is the beautiful Henry Margot PEYTON. I just think it is a gorgeous style in the color 4GR. You can go back on my YouTube channel and search for PEYTON, and you can see the review of this one. And you can get one on tlwigs.com. Use the code Andy20 and save 20%. You'll have to be on the lookout for this new wig review that I'm getting ready to do. It is a very different color for me, so you will have to see what you think. But thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Click here to watch the wig review where I'm wearing this neutral makeup look.